Well, howdy there, folks. This is your host, ID Jester. Thanks for checking out my video. Once again, we're going to be looking at Inside the Crease hockey. This is a great hockey simulation by the Inside Sports game guys. But we're not going to actually be playing a hockey game today. What we're going to do is I'm going to talk a few minutes about some modifications that I made to the core mechanics of the game and kind of show you what I've done. When you compare Inside the Crease hockey to a lot of the other great simulation games that the Inside Sports game guys have, it just seems to me like the Inside the Crease hockey is just needs some fine tuning, some adjustments, give it some pizzazz. Of course, I'm a big hockey guy. That's my number one sport. So of course, Inside the Crease hockey is dear to my heart. I'm trying to make this the best simulation that I possibly can, and I've been working with the Inside the Sports game guys, emailing them and giving them my feedback and suggestions and thoughts and questions and everything. And they've done a great job of answering all my questions and taking all my feedback into account, and hopefully get some of these suggestions in the next version they're working on. The biggest problem we run into, obviously, for them and for myself, is the core mechanics are kind of set in stone. If you were to just add anything or take something out or change statistics or anything like that, or change any of the mechanics of the game, we're talking about hundreds of hours of time for them to alter it, not just the game, not just the base game, but of course they would have to go back and alter all the season files and everything else. And I understand that that's not something they want to do, because that's hundreds of hours that they would have to spend doing that. So for me to make any modifications and changes to the game, I've got to kind of work within the mechanics that are built into the core of the gameplay. So I can't really make any fine-tuned changes and additions or subtractions or anything like that. But I think I've been able to do some good things just by altering the one thing that I think we can get changed, and of course that's the fast action deck, or FAC, the fast action deck. It seems to me like Inside the Crease hockey just needs some pizzazz, some specialness, something interesting whenever somebody takes a shot. Everybody knows when you take a shot zero, you got no chance of scoring. It kind of makes it just a monotonous thing. You got a shot one, it's not going to be very interesting either unless you get really lucky. Same thing with a shot two. And you're also missing those spectacular saves that goalies make. Just, open net goal, and somehow the goalie reaches back with his goal stick and hits the puck out of the air, or makes a kick save, or off the goalie mask, all those really interesting saves that really make the game interesting. So what I've done is I've gone in and I've made some changes to the fast action deck to kind of make shots and saves a little more interesting. And of course this is a work in progress, and that's why I'm posting this video, so I can get some feedback from you guys and let me know what you think of the changes that I made. So the first change that I made that we're going to cover is the fact that any shot that can be taken can now be tipped by an offensive player. So those shot zeros and shot ones and shot twos can all of a sudden become very interesting if they get tipped. So I've actually edited the game files, and what I'm going to do here is just kind of flip through the first one I've got here. So you can see if we had a shot 4 here with Jonathan Toews, it would have been just normally a shot 76, which is going to be held by Lundqvist, and boop, it's over. But you can see here, I've actually altered the file, so it's a shot 76, but even though it would normally be held by Lundqvist, instead it's been tipped by the left defenseman. So the rules associated with tip plays are the tip plays are going to be whatever position is listed, whether it's center, left wing, right defense, or right defense, is going to get a tip chance. And this is the player that took the shot. So if this would say shot number 76, tip center, well, obviously Jonathan Toews can't tip his own shot. So in that case, he would just ignore it. If it's not a shot by that player, then what happens is that the player that's listed is going to get a tip chance. And what you're going to do is you're going to look at the highest stat that player has. So in this case, when we're talking about the left defenseman, we're talking about Harlumsen here, Nicholas Harlumsen. And so his highest is a shot 3. So instead of it being a automatic save by Henrik Lundqvist, what's going to happen is it's going to be tipped by the left defenseman here, and of course we're going to use the highest shot that player has. In this case, is a shot 3. If it would have said tipped left wing, he would have a shot 5. Obviously, he's a better tipper this way. Obviously, if you're on the power play, you're going to use the AST column based upon whether it's the highest column there. So if they were on the power play, then obviously Harlumsen would have a shot 4 instead of a shot 3. But in this situation, it's just a shot 3. We're going to just click on the shot 3 and give him a shot 3 instead of. We're going to ignore it. This is basically what happens is this shot doesn't take place. It's going to be redirected before it even gets on goal. So this doesn't count as a save or anything like that. So you're just going to do a shot 3, and you can see because of this, and this is a perfect example, and I couldn't ask for anything better result here, but this is a shot 3, which ends up being, it's a shot 3 tip by the left defenseman, which ends up being a goal because of that tip that happened. So perfect example, and again, I couldn't have planned that any better. That is just awesome. So obviously then you would click on the goal, and you would have a shot by Toews that was tipped by the left defenseman. Now a lot of people will go, well, that doesn't make any sense because the left defenseman is not going to be in front tipping passes and stuff like that. But you got to remember, and even though it says tip on it, what that represents is anytime the puck is redirected. It might have bounced off a Harlumsen, or it might have deflected off a defender and then off a Harlumsen stick into the goal or something like that. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a tip. It can just be maybe the puck went off his skate or whatever. He's in front, maybe trying to screen the goalie, and it goes off his shin pad in the goal or whatever. So, and even though it does say tip, think of it as just any kind of redirection by that player. So we have a goal just by that. So you're going to get a lot more better scoring chances because obviously there is going to be some tips incorporated into the system now. So, and obviously, in this case, if it was at even strength, it would have been right defenseman. He would have had a shot 2. If it had been Hossa here, he would have had a shot 5 because he's got a stat. So it's their highest shot value that you can use. So obviously, he wouldn't get a shot 5 because the best he can do is a shot 2. So again, you're going to get a lot better quality shooting chances. And just to give you a rough idea, there is about a 7% chance of a tip happening on any specific shot. So there are that many different fact cards that have been changed. So there are 200 fact cards. There's 14 changes. So basically, at 7% chance of being tipped, you have a much greater chance of a tip by your left wing, your center, and your right wing than you do the defenseman. In fact, the defensemen only have 1 chance in 100 to redirect, while their forwards have 3 in 100 chance to. It's going to be. Let me think of the exact total here. It's going to be for defensemen, it's going to be basically a 1% chance of a redirect by them. And for your forward lines, the chance of redirect is going to be about 6%. So 1% for your defensemen and 6% for your forwards lines. So much better scoring chances, higher shot totals and stuff. That's going to, give you greater chances of getting interesting goals by having tips. Now, with that said, if we don't make any other changes, it's going to skew everything in the system, because obviously the system isn't built for having a lot of really good scoring chances based on tips. So what we've done is we've gone to the other side and we've adjusted the goalies so that they will also have a chance to make a great save. So what I'm going to do here is just click on a few of these shots, and what will end up happening here eventually is we will see one that has a great save. Obviously there's another tip by the left wing. So in this case, Jonathan Toews takes a shot. It's tipped by the left wing, so we can look. Left wing has got a 1-2 shot value, so he has a shot 5 value, so he's going to be able to tip it with a shot 5. And even though he redirected it to 70, which is going to be held by Henrik Lundqvist. So even though it was tipped, it's just going to go through the normal process. Of course, if there's a process to have the shot blocked ahead of time, you're going to use that just like normal. So the normal procedure happens. So you're going to check out if you have any defensive or offensive changes. Then you're going to check to see if there's any chance of the shot being blocked. And then, of course, you're actually going to go to the shot. So the only addition is you're going to look at the shot and see what happens. Now let's see if we can get a great save here. There's another tip. Alright, let's see if we can get one here. Obviously you can see that there's not a lot. We're talking about only a 14% chance of a tip on any certain shot, so it's not going to happen all the time, but it will give you that because it's incorporated in the system. It'll give you that, oh, I got a shot 0, maybe it'll get tipped or something. There's still a chance. So your shot 0s and your shot 1s and your shot 2s will still be interesting because you still think, oh man, if I can get that. So again, we would go through the same procedure here. We would go and say, okay, what's your defensive situation? Then you would check to see if the shot is blocked. It is not blocked. And then you would go and see if this is a shot 1, which would normally be a miss anyways, but in this case, you can see that this is actually listed as a great save. So we've got us a great save by the goalie. So that would take precedence over the 1-0 there. Any other time, if it would have been, say, a shot 1 there, and it was a 1, normally it would be a goal, but if it comes up with the great save, it is obviously going to be a great save. So again, even though you can think, oh, I got a tip play, oh yeah, it's been redirected by the left wing here, and I got a shot 5, then you can end up having a great save. So it makes, obviously it doesn't happen all the time, because obviously goalies don't make great saves all the time. I believe we have just a 3% chance of a great save happening total. So it's not going to happen all the time, but once in a while, those goalies are going to rob those goals that you think you're going to get. And I'm just clicking through to see if we can get a few more of those to pop in there. There's another tip. There's another tip. Oh, there was one, and I clicked by it. Of course I did. Well, see what happens. That's why I was so happy in the beginning of the episode because let's see. Here's a shot 2. It's not a great save. So again, shot 3, 1 to 10's a goal. You just ignore it because it's a goal just like normal. The only time that anything's going to change is when it says tip or it says great save. And obviously, we're just talking about a 3% chance. So 3 out of 100 shots, your goalies are now going to... Oh, there was another one that I clicked by. I see I'm too clicky now. I'm trying to hurry up to find a good example here. Come on. Of course, that's why I was so happy in the beginning that it worked really well for me to show a great example. I always wish the goalie would give me a great example here. That would be awesome. I've had a couple of them pop up, but I've been clicking so fast. There's another tip. There's a shot. There's another tip. There's a tip. There's another tip. Now here's a good example. So we have a shot 4 coming in from Harwelmsen. Nicholas there. He's a shot 4. So obviously you're going to check out your defensive first. Then you're going to see if the shot is, see if it's a wide shot. Nope, it's not. It's not knocked wide by Rick Nash there. So now you're going to check number 5. Number 5 is a goal. No, it's not a goal. It is now a great save. So because we've given the offense the ability to get extra good shots, better chances of getting good shots by getting some tips, we've kind of also balanced that with the fact that goalies are going to rob you some of the time with some spectacular saves. And in this case, Harmlison would have had a goal, and normally, but this is a great save. So again, we're just going to put it down as a held by the goalie and a great save. So that's just some changes that I made that I think will make it a little more interesting. Because, it seems like your shot 5s and 4s are really interesting and you're excited because it's like, oh, I got a really good chance of scoring. And your shot 2s and 3s, it's like, okay, I got a halfway, maybe a slim chance. And your shot 1s and 0s, you have no excitement about them whatsoever. And I'm trying to bring some excitement in. So even if you're doing a shot 0, you can get that tip, or shot 1. And then also, on the other end, it's like, oh no, my opponent's got a shot 5. Oh no, he's going to score. And then, boom, goalie save. So hopefully bring some more excitement back into the whole shooting, saving mechanic that is built into Inside the Crease hockey. So again, have to kind of work within the system. I would like to have, obviously, if there was a rating for each of the players on their ability to tip shots, that would be something we could incorporate into the system here. But again, that's not going to be feasible just because that was never built in the core mechanics, and adding that in would just cause a lot of extra work for very little gain. So I'm trying to find ways around that so that I can build in the system and get us some really cool, interesting things with the shot mechanic in there. Again, this is a work in progress. I don't know for sure if the great saves, if there needs to be more of them, if if there should be more or less tipping. I'm pretty knowledgeable, I should say, in the hockey all the way around. So I think, when you're talking about a 7% chance of any shot being tipped or deflected, knocked, off of someone's skate or whatever, about 7 out of 100 shots, I would think, is going to be redirected or tipped or something like that. And just because it's redirected or tipped doesn't mean it's going to automatically go in. You can have a shot 5 that's obviously not going to go in. If we click his, it's a shot 27, so it's not. It's a rebound. So just because you're getting a better shot doesn't mean you're going to score. And because of that mechanic and the fact that we're giving them much better chances 7% of the time, there's a 3% chance that the goalie will just stone you dead cold on your shot. So that's my mechanic to try and bring some more interest, some of that wow factor. Okay, I got a shot 0 or a shot 1, but man, we can still, come on, give me, oh no, it's a shot 5 though. It's still, the mechanics aren't changing. All that's changing is a few additional things that are going to alter what happens with the shot. So it's going to be quick and easy for people to understand the changes, and it's not going to add anything too much to the game. That it's not going to be too rule intensive. It's going to be pretty easy for people to use this system. So let me know what you think in the comments section below. I'd be interested to hear. I appreciate you watching my video, and thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.